For my 10-year career, I wrote standard operating procedures for content marketers, SEO specialists, content managers, and I know where things break most often when you create a guide and delegate to use this. In most cases, I've used Google Docs or Evernote for this purpose, but now I understand I need something more serious. So I reviewed most popular tools in this space and shared my opinions on them. The first one, which I like, is Tango. Instead of writing procedures from scratch, Tango captures your actions as you complete a task and instantly turns them into structured step-by-step guides. I can share you an example how it works in real time. So let's say I would like to explain how to work with the admin in dashboard in the Substack. For example, I would like to show how to create an article, how to include the subscribe buttons inside the article, how to use different formatting options, how to include images, etc. And every time I do some steps during what I do usually when I create my article, Tango capture this and turn each click on the step and do the screenshot every time I do something. So it's already a guide that you can delegate to somebody. And there are other great features I didn't implement it yet, didn't test it yet enough. The first one is Leave Blur, that is especially valuable for healthcare and finance industries where you want to teach your team how to do something, but it's important to hide user info inside the app when you do the capture. And the next thing is the voice transcription. So usually you want to not just to do some things inside the app, but you also want to add some instructions. As you do something, you want to add something to the guide, and it helps you to make it more descriptive and save more time on creating this. You don't have to manually write text for each step. So I created this. I click to complete the guide and it automatically added to my library inside the Tango. And the Grace instance starts appear after that, because once I've created it, I can review each step. I can add some comments to this. I can update the title and description of this step. So I can edit it and improve after the creating. And also the great feature is the guide me feature, that for anybody I will share this guide, they will be able to just open the Substack, for example, click on the guide me on this page, and you see the Tango highlight the button they have to click and guide this person step by step inside the app without so the person doesn't need to visit two tabs. For example, if we use Google Docs, it happens the adoption happens inside the app. And this one feature which I like a lot. The next feature is the sharing and the export, because for this purpose the first one you can add is into other knowledge bases, Notion, Zendesk, Confluence, etc. You can choose here. So you can turn it into the video. So your step-by-step screenshot guide can become the video guide. You also can pin the information that people can ask for the guide when they see some screen in the app. So it's some tip that if you have questions about this, launch this guide, and specifically in the app you will see some tips for this. And also the analytics feature. Here's an example that I can see how many people visit this guide. Also I can see completion rate, and viewer activity. So to show on this example, completions and viewer activity, who exactly view this. So all of this help not just help your team to learn how to do something, but also you can measure whether this is really easy for them to use this guide, and whether they believe it can help them. So this is Tango. The next one is Scribe. This is the biggest Tango competitor. And yeah, it's also a popular screenshot recording tool. The problem for me with the Scribe is just Tango has much better UX. Yeah, so for me it's easier to edit stuff, to record stuff, and also analytics, etc. Scribe looks for me a little bit outdated. Yeah, I don't know why it's happened, but really invested a lot into the design and I like it more. Yeah. The next tool is the Notion, and for a long time I preferred Evernote for my personal knowledge base. Yeah, I didn't use the Notion a lot because I understood that I need one system yet to work with. But I found that Notion is very popular among freelancers, consultants, agencies, etc. And I thought that it's really, I have to dive deeper into this because if so many people adopted it, there is something valuable. And I found that Notion is much better for sharing like public stuff. Yeah, when you create some some document guide and you want to share it with people, it's much easier than to work it with Evernote. And also because it's adapted and popular, everybody knows how to read this, how to work with this, and it creates like some fundamental basic level of adoption for any guide you share with people. So that's why I've started also to create, like for example in my case, how to do AMA session in one of the subreddits I mentioned. Yeah, I've tested it and I like it. Yeah, so the idea that this small knowledge base where you actually store different guides, you also can embed the Tango guides inside this knowledge base. Yeah, so it's also cheapest for me and very flexible. Yeah, however, I understand that the biggest, I would say, competitor of Notion maybe is Confluence by Atlassian. This is enterprise level of the knowledge base, and it has those strengths that are weaknesses of Notion. Yeah, so Notion is very flexible, but it's also hard to structure and manage, or when you have a bigger enterprise company like I would say 100, 500 people at least. Yeah, and I used Confluence as the user in the company, and I like this, like that it's easily manageable for like different stuff. When you have many products, when you have many different for different departments, and you want to structure it, it helps because it's created for enterprises. Yeah, but for my agency, Notion looks like just an easier option. Yeah, and then the last tool is the Loom. Yeah, is the most popular, I would say, screen recorder, like video recording and sharing tool. And the reason I like it is the problem with any video recording when you create. The reason I like Loom is that when you create standard operating procedures, yeah, you usually, sometimes you need text, sometimes you need interactive step-by-step guide made with Tango, but sometimes you need to add more context about why do you do something, what are like some basic principles you want to use for any other task, and it helps you to like share some emotions, some things that don't relate it to capturing the screen. Yeah, you just explain something that is easy. Often you need some eye contact with person, yeah, and explain something with emotions. So my most popular use case is usually when we do some design and I want to give the feedback to my designer about what I like and what I don't like. Yeah, it's faster to do with such recording and easily share with it. But for most long-term SOPs, it's usually not the best tool because again, if you create the SOP, you want to edit it when something changes in other apps, and this means that you have to record entire video every time, which is time consuming and just it's not the best way to capture such specific knowledge. Yeah. So in my case, my stack looks like I create the knowledge base in the Notion, then I record the specific instructions with Tango, yeah, like how to do this, etc. I store them inside the Notion, and I use Loom for some quick descriptions of what I like and what I don't like in some tasks. and yeah, it helps to cover all the issues I need, the SOPs I need inside my small agency. If you have other tools to add to this list, add them in comments, and yeah, that's all.